Welcome to the Habs Tonight channel, you guys. My name is Annik. I'm joined with Brandon. Welcome to the weekly roundtable. As you can see, our roundtable is just 2 for today. But Brando, how's it going, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing good. Start of the week, new week here. Habs Nation seems to be in a little bit more of a positive mood, which is good. You were at the game Saturday, so let's get into some more Habs stuff here.
It was a beautiful game on Saturday. Finally seeing a win at the Bell Center. It's been like, 3.5 years since I've seen a winning game. So about time. Lots of positives to talk about for sure. But before we get to Saturday's game, a bit of a mediocre week from the Montreal Canadiens, a bad road trip. I don't know. It felt good to get on the winning side for sure, but can we string 2 wins together? That's the main, I guess, topic today is it doable?
Yes, and I think it is. It feels like there was a. Now, I might be getting my hopes up, but it feels like there was a different team that played Saturday, and it just comes back to like the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde team the Montreal Canadiens are this year. But I'm hoping for the better. I think it'd be good to get 2 wins strung together. But this week, I know Wednesday they play the Washington Capitals, and they've been doing well. They've been battling injury problems, but still producing very well. And I just want to do a quick shout out to Carl Alsner's show. He's got a podcast called All's Caps, I think it is. Check it out if you're a Capitals fan or if you like Carl Alsner. Sorry, but yeah, like you said, the big win Saturday. It's a momentum thing. You get some guys coming back that are getting healthy, and hopefully it starts a good week and maybe a little bit of momentum for the Habs.
Well, you saw it this morning at practice. I don't know if you saw the replay. The boys are just tapping on the ice, having some fun. So it's nice to see the positive energy back on the ice. It's been a couple of iffy games, like we said. Saturday, let's just go down right to it. Saturday was Hockey Fights Cancer Night, not only in Montreal. So beautiful to see that ceremony in person, everybody raising up their lights and taking a moment of silence for everybody who's fighting cancer. So just a beautiful night to be a part of to start off with. And then a little bit of line changes. So you saw that they were playing with 11 forward and 7D. So you had Chris Weidman, who was taking Michael Pizzetta's spot on the 4th line. I was a little bit surprised to see Pizzetta being scratched off, but he said it was a rest day. He's back into the practice alignment. So I don't know if it was just a trial. Seems to have worked out well. Chris Weidman played an amazing game on Saturday. I think it was one of his best of the season so far from what I saw. Aside from that, right away, from what I saw, we were down 5-0 in the shots at first, like within the first 5-10 minutes, and I said, oh crap, here we go. Like it's going to be another one of those games where we're playing catch-up hockey. Lecky finally gets his first goal of the year and scores just this greasy goal in front of the net. The smile on his face, you could just tell it's the monkey off his back. He was so happy. So great to see Lecky take off.
Yeah, for sure. And just quickly too, because the Weidman thing, it was definitely interesting because they have not gone 11 forward 70 in a while. And you got to think it's because they want to see what Norlinder can do. Obviously, is he worth keeping or is he worth sending back to Sweden to keep developing? And I think obviously Pizzetta was the obvious answer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's no offense to Michael Pizzetta. He knows what he is. He's the 4th line grinder. AHL, maybe 4th line NHL. So obviously it made the most sense to take him out to keep Paling and Armia there. But Weidman coming in, if you've noticed, the Habs' success on the power play is with Weidman running the point. And I think that's why they wanted him in. He brings more value than Pizzetta does in a way by that, while also seeing what Norlinder can do. And I was going to ask you, we know the first game Norlinder played well. And now the Habs are getting to a point now where they got to think maybe 1 or 2 more games and they got to make the decision. Do you keep Norlinder here or do you send him back to Sweden to develop? And now quickly, I'll just tell you what my thought process would be is I'm in favor of sending him back to Sweden. I mean, we know playoffs are likely not a very high possibility right now, to word it nicely. There's always a chance. I'll never say never, but I think personally, Norlinder, I think he goes back to Sweden, play top 4 minutes for Frölunda. We saw this weekend, Dom Ducharme didn't really use him on the power play like I thought he would. That's where he's going to thrive. That's how he plays. That's his playing style. So I was just curious, now that you saw him in person, what are your thoughts on Norlinder? Should he stay? Should he go back to Sweden? What are you thinking?
a bit of a tough situation because you're looking at the way we're playing, and like you said, the likeliness of us making the playoffs is not very high. So a part of me wants to say, he's getting great experience right now. He's a wonderful skater. He's very smooth with the puck. Like, this kid is going to be great in a few years, but he's just not there yet. So same opinion as you. I would like to see him go back, get some experience, even if it's going back to Laval, just to gain that experience. Let's not rush him. There's no point in rushing him right now. But in the future, this kid is going to be pretty elite. I've never seen such a young kid like this skating the way he does. He's so smooth. He's a beautiful skater. So
Yeah,
send him back. Just let him casually grow and see how he does next training camp. It's
exactly too. And that's the one shitty thing with these European players is there's a clause where it's either NHL or back to their home team in Sweden. So like, unfortunately, you can't go Laval. So
yeah,
then that's what my thought process is: just send him back to Sweden, play top 4 minutes, because we have Joel Edmondson who took part in his first practice today, non-contact jersey, obviously, but he's going to be coming back to the lineup as well. So that's going to push another person out.
yeah,
I know the season's kind of lost already. So if you're not going to play Norlinder top 4 minutes, power play minutes, better off send him back to Sweden, let him get those reps in, playing against men, all that stuff. It's only going to help him in the long run because
for
right
sure.
now, honestly, it's not worth it for the Montreal Canadiens to ruin his development in a year where it's not going to happen. Especially with Edmondson coming back, we're going to get some healthy bodies. So I think the best case for them would be definitely send him back to Sweden.
For sure. And like you said, Edmondson practiced with the team in non-contact today. He's going to be traveling with the team, so that's great news. He won't be playing this week, but Duchamp said the likeliness of him playing will be next week. So that's huge for us right now, getting Joel Edmondson back. Hopefully he'll be able to be paired with Petry and get that chemistry back, because let's just touch on Jeff Petry. And I feel like this is a repetitive subject for us, but it keeps coming back up. And watching him on Saturday, you can tell like he's frustrated. He's sitting on the bench and his head's down. It's pissing him off, and within reason. I mean, he knows he's capable of playing so much better than he is right now. I don't know if he's going through an injury or not, but like I said on the post-game show the other night, if he is going through an injury, I feel like the leadership thing to do would be, guys, I can't play right now. Bring someone up who can. Don't ruin a possibility of allowing a goal just because you can't play. I
Yeah,
know
and I
it
think
must be
too.
hard, but
Well, like I was just gonna say too, like you got to think the pressure was on him from the start of the year. We
yeah,
see Weber not come, and then we see Edmondson out. We see Pricey leave, and then you think Petry's going, okay, I gotta step up here. And I think he maybe put too much pressure on himself, and then now it's like he's still a good hockey player. I know
oh, for
some
sure.
plays this year, some fans have been upset. Even I've been questioning,
Well,
like,
me too. I've
man,
been
he's just a shadow of what he normally is. And we know that talent is still in there. Don't get me wrong. And it's like Dale alludes to all the time. It's a confidence thing. It's these guys have it. It's just it takes one weird lucky bounce, and you'll see Petry turn it right around. I thought we might have seen it the other night, and I think he might slowly be making the turn. And then I think, like you said, with the addition of Edmondson, a guy that he played with a lot last year, a lot of minutes, I'm hoping he can bring Petry back out of that shell. And because once you get Petry firing, get Edmondson back in, Sherratt's playing well. Weidman's running the power play. The forwards are doing good. They just need run support. And
yeah.
now, I'm not saying it's going to be a miracle turnaround season here, but just better hockey to watch. And I think with Petry going, you get a couple of those defensemen playing well. You get Allen back. You get Carey Price back. It's going to be a different team. Like I said, don't put words in my mouth. This isn't going to be a Stanley Cup contender, but it might be more fun to watch the games.
Yeah. Yeah, it might be less of a frustrating watch, because right now you can't help but like sit in front of your TV and like I'm swearing like a sailor watching them. It's frustrating to watch, and we keep getting messages of, are you guys watching the same game as us, trying to find something positive? Well, heck, trust me, behind the scenes, we're just as upset as you guys, but we're trying to find something positive to talk about. Like you said, Jake Allen, who actually practiced this morning, Caden Primo sent back to Laval. I'm actually really happy with what I saw from Caden Primo. A lot more, what's the word? Confidence from
Yep.
him. I found on the ice, more stable. Not giving. He looked less nervous. So I'm happy that he got the chance to at least come up. Obviously, it's not the types of games where the outcome was great for him, but
Yeah.
when you don't have the team in front of you performing the way they should, it's kind of hard for a goaltender to push back. But even Samuel Montembeault, who got his first start as a Quebec-born player in Montreal since José Theodore, I think in 2006, very happy for him to at least have gotten a W in the Bell Center. His family was there. He played an absolutely great game. He was solid in the first period. So, type of player where you wonder, is he going to be sent down to Laval as well? Is he going to be put on waivers? What do you expect for Samuel Montembeault in the future?
I think as soon as Carey's ready to come back, you'll
Yeah.
see Montembeault on waivers. You'll keep the Primo, McNiven, and I think it's Alex Lyon, maybe in the East Coast. But like you said, Jake Allen obviously making the trip. Caden Primo, like you said, I thought he showed better confidence compared to last year. And I think we got to realize too is Caden Primo's still a couple years away because goalies take longer to develop. Even Carey played in the A. A lot of fans got to realize like goalies don't hit their prime till like their late 20s. It's a very, very hard mental position to play. I mean,
Which you
even the
played,
best
right?
falter. Yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun on families either. My mom hated it. But as for Primo, he's still a couple years away. I like what he showed. More minutes down in the A, get that starting role, play down there for another year or two. Obviously, Jake Allen come back from concussion. Obviously, with Primo getting sent down, you got to think Jake is he's at least backing up Wednesday against Washington. So
Yeah.
that's good. And then, like we said earlier, with Carey Price coming back, we got that tandem. But for Sammy Montembeault, getting that first win, they showed his parents and family on the screen there Saturday night. That was great to see. Happy to finally see him get a win. I know it made most fans nervous there in the last few minutes where Duchesne got the hat trick, but no, he played well and he finally got the run support. I mean, this is one of those guys that he makes a lot of saves and he kept them in the first period. So very, very happy to see him get a win. Obviously, it must have been his childhood favorite team, Montreal Canadiens. I don't know if he's came out and said it, but you can assume maybe.
Yeah.
But just happy Quebec-born kid getting a win at the Bell Center on a Saturday night. I mean, you can't beat that.
It's special. Like if I were to nitpick Sammy's performance on Saturday, or even all of his performances, it would be controlling the rebounds a bit more. He gives a lot of long rebounds, which sometimes he's not in the right placement in the crease that, ends up in a bad situation. But aside from that, he's been absolutely solid, especially when we're playing well in front of him. So, I mean, good for him if he can get like the eyes on him for a few plays. If we put him on waivers, he gets picked up. I mean, best of luck to him, right? He's still a great person, great goaltender. So he's helping out for the moment, but Carey Price is still on track, out of the gym, performing on the ice a little bit more. So hopefully he'll get to practice with the team in the next few days. I don't know, maybe in the next few weeks. So
yeah, I'm not sure of the
news.
timeline on that.
There's none. I was listening to Marc Bergevin. That's another thing we should touch on. Bergie is out with COVID right now, so our best wishes go out to Marc Bergevin right now for a safe recovery and such. He said he was really sick, but he's feeling a little bit better. And he said on TVA on Saturday that he wished he had a timeline. He himself doesn't even know when Carey's going to be back. All he knows is that Carey's progressing well, but that's all we can hope for right now.
Yeah, and at this point where the season is, like, you're so far below, like, thinking playoffs right now. So for him, it's like you be 100% mentally, physically, everything. Just like you be you 100% because there's still a chance he can go play for the Olympics, right? I know Montreal Canadiens matter, but like Olympics, and in his mind, he wants to go play in the Olympics. So let's make sure he's 100% good to go. Jake Allen, Sam Montembeault can keep going if they have to. But I'm just hoping that Carey can come back fully healthy. Expectations aren't blown out of proportion. I imagine everybody's going to support him. All the fans are going to support him. I can't wait to see his first game at the Bell Center. It's going to be absolutely wild. I hope fans take videos or pictures for us so we can put them out because it's going to be absolutely incredible the reception that Carey Price is going to get. Just happy to hear that he's doing well and he's on track per se. We don't know what the timeline is, but from what we've heard, it seems good though.
Yeah. And on Saturday, even before the warm-ups, they were showing players on the screen just, like, doing mini interviews, and Carey came up to talk, and the whole crowd started cheering right away, so it's special just to see that he's not even back and people are cheering, so that first game is gonna be one hell of a game for sure for him.
And
Can't
one
wait.
other thing where fans started cheering randomly was the intro to the game Saturday night. How did that feel? Fix you, fix the Habs. Put it on the
Okay,
headline.
so I have been, I think, one of the biggest complainers about what's that other song called? Like Bulls on
Oh, the
Parade or
Bulls on
something like
Parade.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, okay, it's a fine song, but it's not a Montreal Canadiens intro song. You think of the Montreal Canadiens intro, it goes with Fix You by Coldplay. Period. Do not at me. Do not come at me. Period. So as soon as that song started, the roar just came out of the crowd and everybody turned around and said, "Oh my god, it's Fix You," including myself, which you can probably hear in one of the videos I posted. So it was great to see Fix You back. And we actually saw as well that it was Joel Edmondson who had talked to Paul Wilson on behalf of the team that requested to have Fix You back when they came out onto the ice. So not only the fans were upset, but I guess the players were looking forward to having that too, right?
Well, hockey players are weird characters. They're creatures of habit, and if you mess with the habit or routine, everybody's heard of all the superstitions. I mean, I've went through them. I'm not sure if Dale's ever mentioned his, but they're creatures of habit. The way they get dressed, what they eat, what they do, and then I think this year when they first came out to Bull Parade, they were kind of like, "What is going on?" And finally, Fix You's back. They win 6-3, and the game was moral upside. I found where I thought the Habs, it was like 6-2, 6-1 maybe, should have been the final score. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to pick. Just happy Fix You's back because, like I said, these creatures of habit like routine. And I know it has zero impact on the actual game. But as a player, they're probably jacked up. They're pumped. And I think that's why they started the game so well.
Oh, great start to the game. I know it was a little bit of the shots were a bit more for Nashville, but great start to the game. The boys were out there firing through. Wanted to touch on a few comments as well that we were tagged on is Michael McCarron, who, yes, still plays in the NHL, as some people were not aware. His first game back in Montreal, and this is one guy that I was sitting right in front of him, so I was watching a little bit more. He's a monster. I've like, holy crap, this guy's big. And you would think with his size that he'd be a little bit more productive, but you can see now why he didn't have his place within the organization. And even with Nashville, I don't see this lasting for a long time. Like, apart from getting into a scrum with Josh Anderson and everybody at the end of that second period, there wasn't much more to his game. He's a slow skater. He's not much involved. Like, nothing's really changed for him. So it's too bad because he's such a great kid. He's a big kid. Could have the potential to do a lot more, but
That
it
was
just didn't
the
happen
I
for
think
him.
that was the Habs when they were kind of hoping to get that big bodied center that can play, but obviously he didn't work out the way they thought.
Yeah.
He's moved on. But one thing I've liked though about potential and coming in and doing well is Ron Paling, friend of the
Ooh.
show. How did he look Saturday night?
Happy. He finally looks happy. I've never seen him smile more than on Saturday or even the last few games since being called up. He called himself out again, saying that he knew he could have done better during preseason, training camp, and everything. So the fact that he calls himself out, comes back, he's what, three goals in 6 games now?
Yeah.
So he was all over the ice. He's finishing his checks. He's battling. He's doing everything right now. So very well deserved a two goal game. Again, the smile on his face was just absolutely amazing. I DM'd him a few days ago and he answered back saying, "Thank you so much. I had so much fun and I'm happy to be with this team." And you can finally see it that he's happy to be there. My only concern right now is you've got Cedric Paquette, who's practicing with the team, and both of them are fighting for this spot. So, my question to you, and I'm just going to give my opinion first, is Cedric Paquette comes back. Do you put him in instead
Waivers.
of Paling?
Nope.
Like, this is a kid where if you compare both of them right now, Paling is outplaying Paquette and deserves the spot. It's no offense to Nick Paquette, great guy, great hockey player, but Paling deserves that spot. So do you, like you said, you put him on waivers, but
Oh, absolutely. Because who's the future of the team is Suzuki, Evans,
oh, for
Paling,
sure.
and Paquette's not in there. And it's no offense to him. I'm sure he sees the bigger picture. I hope the Montreal Canadiens can make a big call. The
Yeah.
only reason I can see them not doing it may be because in case of an injury, they can easily call up Paling, where if they waiver Paquette, it could be claimed. But honestly, I think right now you're stuck in a spot where it's okay, playoffs, not likely. Show your young guys, hey, Palin, you went to the A, you produced, you did well, you stuck with the process.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's got a good attitude because he's back up there. He's doing well. I think you reward him. I think you say, Paquette, thank you for everything, but Pale's earned his spot in nurse seat.
Sayonara.
Yeah. And
No.
what makes me happy about Paling too is because the guy is still really, really young. He's 21,
Oh, yeah.
22. He went to the A for a year or two. He's came up, he's came down. He said it openly. He did not have the training camp like he thought he was going to. Said he was hesitant, and he finally started trusting himself, which was so good because
Yeah.
I've said a million times. Dale said it, like, these guys, they know how to play the game. It's the mental side of it. And he came out and said, he's like, I'm not hesitating anymore. I'm trusting myself to make the right play. And I think that's why you're seeing a resurgence out of him and playing well, is because he's finally trusting himself. And now that he's earned a little bit of the coach's trust, I think you reward that with, that's his spot to lose now. I don't think when Paquette's healthy, you bring him in. I think you give that to Paling, and it's a business at the end of the day.
100% agreed with everything you just said. He's earned it. And again, the season is not lost yet. I mean, I know it looks bad. We can't string 2 games together. I get the shit side of it, but take a look at the standings. It's not lost yet. So just let him gain the experience, let him get the taste for it, and let the kid play. It's a business, like you said. Say like Paquette, thank you so much for everything you've done, but right now you're not cutting it compared to Paling. Period.
And that's what it is. I don't know if you keep him as a 13th forward or something, but I think you're at the transition time. We've talked about this even last year, where Montreal's was stuck between 2 windows. Last year, they almost got the window for Price, Weber, and all them. But then you got that young window with Evans, with Suzuki, Caulfield, Paling, Norlinder, Romanov, Harris, Struble, Primo. Like, there's a new window coming.
Insane.
And I think it's now where it's obviously you went for the cup with Price last year and Weber and them. And obviously Price, he's still here for a few more years, but it's slowly transitioning to that next window where it's, okay, we're going to stop bringing in these, I hate using the word washed up or older vets, but start letting the kids take over. If they can do it, which I think Paling has shown this, I know it's a small sample size, let Paling take over now. I mean, that's your future. Invest in the future.
Yeah. It's not about taking in like washed up people either. It's just, we need to stop doing the whole come end your career in Montreal for the sake of coming to Montreal.
Yeah.
Like, I have the utmost respect for players who finish their careers in Montreal and for their dream teams. Utmost respect for it, but it's not the time for it anymore. Like you said, we need to build with the kids and we go from there.
Exactly.
Speaking of kids, Jake Evans, I want to touch on him quickly, friend of the show as well. So I spent most of the night just keeping my eyes on Jake Evans because this kid is all over the ice. I was tagged on Twitter the other day for saying, yeah, he's got 3 points. What the hell are you watching? Okay, well, I'm watching Jake Evans play. It doesn't matter if he's got 1 point, 2 points, or 3 points. This kid is all over the ice and he's giving 110% every single shift. I don't give a shit if he has 1 points, 2 points, 15 points. It's the effort that he's putting in, cutting to the net. He's like a mini Brendan Gallagher on Saturday. He's nitty-gritty all over the place. So what do you think of watching Jake Evans this season? Does he deserve that 3rd, 4th line spot, or should he go and get that 2nd position over Dvorak right now? What's your thoughts?
I would put him, Jake, as the 3C, and I think he's going to be a really good 3C. I think he's got more offense in him than some think. And
Mhm.
I think arguably the last few games, Jake's line has been one of our better ones. He's been getting the almost like the Phil Deneau treatment where he's the shutdown line with Lehkonen and Armia. We know
Yeah.
Galley was on his wing when they went to the 11 forwards or whatever. But I think he's going to be a fantastic 3C. I honestly think you may see Paling. I'm not saying this year. I think you might see Paling as your 2C. I think it's going to be Suzuki, Paling, Evans, and I think what Jake does is so valuable. Even like you said, when it's not even the points, it's the penalty kill, it's the ozone puck possession, because they will go in there and they'll battle him, Lackin and Armia, get the puck deep. They'll battle, they'll wear it out. They're smart defensively. I've loved his game this year. I think you're 100% right. I think anybody else that sees anything different, I don't know what they're watching, because if you watch Jake, he puts 100% in every game, and he always tries to make the right play. I've been a big fan of him. I've loved watching him grow from a seventh rounder to Laval. For a kid that never was supposed to actually make it and actually make it and be
He's made it.
effective, I think he's going to be the Habs 3C for a long time.
He's also someone who, let's say Dvorak would get injured, God forbid, he's someone I'd feel comfortable putting as my second C right now.
Yeah.
100%. I have no
Easily.
issues with that. Speaking of centers, Nick Suzuki has been lights out on faceoffs lately. So that's something we said on the post game with Shane and new co-host Damon is if Nick Suzuki can keep going with the consistency in the faceoff circles, his skill and eliteness just boosted right up.
Yeah. I think that's been one of his downsides was the faceoff. I think even Montreal last year, years prior, besides Phil Deneau, it's been pretty bleak in the draws. And I saw that stat Saturday night as well, and I was so happy because Nick does everything else. Power play, penalty kill, and then if he's effective on the draw where he can do D zone or O zone, and you can trust him to win that draw, it just bodes really well for Montreal. You met up with his mom.
Yes, Amanda came and said hi in the stands to us, and then we met up with her during the first intermission. So Amanda and Caitlin, which is Nick's girlfriend. So we had a chat for about a good 20 minutes here, and she was saying too, she's like, I don't care who wins or lose right now. Like for me, it's just I want Nick to be safe. I want the team to be safe. If they win, perfect. The mentality is so important right now. We as fans don't see how losing like this is affecting them. And I think that's really important here is that the team knows they're not doing well. They're not stupid. They're not blind to it. So to get tagged on Twitter, social media, and being attacked that they suck, they need to be traded and stuff, it has an impact on their mental health too. So, we teach our kids not to bully, not to all that kinds of stuff. And we turn around on Twitter and we attack them. Like these players' families are on Twitter too, guys. Remember that? You know, the kids are on there. So she's such a nice person. You can see it's a testament as to how Nick was brought up. Nick is so respectful and a gentleman. His mom is the same. She is so sweet, so nice, and can't wait to meet with her again in the future to chat longer.
Yeah, for sure. And I can't wait to get Nick back on the show sometime in the future.
He will.
Great kid. He's fun to talk to. And still waiting. We got to call out Nick. Nick's got some Habs Night merch. He's got to post a picture wearing some Habs Night stuff. So I just want to bring that up because we have a 20% off sale at habsnight.net store right now. Get some hats, get some shirts. We know Suzuki's got some stuff. Galley, I think, has got a couple things.
I think Evan's got a few things too. Paling might have some. A couple of the boys wanted some merch, so it got delivered to them.
So promo code Dale at habsnight.net for your merch. Get that while you can. I love that hat. Obviously wearing one right now. Pretty good stuff. Can't wait to see what the boys do this week. We're playing the Capitals Wednesday, Buffalo Friday, Pittsburgh Saturday, I believe.
It's a long week ahead. It's going to be a challenge, but if we can win that next game and at least string two together, might give it a little bit of boost to the boys to, hey, it's doable. Build off of that. Build on what happened on Saturday. It was a great team effort, great team win. before we close off, Josh Anderson. That's another kid that I want to touch on
Yes.
because he had a hell of a game on Saturday. Might not have gotten on the score sheet, but
He did beautiful assist to Dvorak.
yes, but I mean, scoring wise,
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
Um, Apart from that, like he was lights out on that fight. He was just, you could see, like
Pounded
I
the
was
wheels
watching.
off the guy.
Oh, I know. I was right behind the visitors bench, right? So I see all the players coming back to the bench, and every time he's coming back, he's chirping someone or he's hitting a stick. He's just a little shit disturber
It's
on
the
the
game
ice.
within the game.
Yeah. And you don't see that on TV half the time because you don't see the boys coming out and you don't see them going back to the bench. But he's just a little shit disturber. And at some point, it was starting to work. He was getting under their skins. And as soon as we made it 5-0, that Nashville coach, forgot his name here, but he is just mad. I have video. He's screaming at the boys. They're having timeouts between the breaks. Everybody's listening with their heads down, screaming at him. And you got Andy on the side who's laughing at him. He's a shit disturber, and I love it. So I absolutely loved his involvement in Saturday's game. I thought he had a wonderful game. In the past few weeks, he's actually been a lot more involved. So looking forward to see how it's going to work out this week. Tyler Toffoli too, another guy that I would like to see get on the score sheet a little bit more. He's very streaky, had a great game on Saturday. So I don't know what I'm expecting from this road trip. If we base it off the other ones, obviously it's not too positive, but I don't know. Maybe the luck can change around, right?
Like if as long as they play good hockey, good, strong, hardworking,
that's what matters.
like it's fun to watch as a fan. I got no complaints. They win, great. They lose, trying, and it's actually a good game. Don't mind it. I mean, like I've said before, we know where the season's at right now. They make a miracle comeback. You know I'm going to be saying I called it, but if they don't, as long as they play well as a fan, I'm happy. But quickly, before we head out, I just want to point out that JD wrote a blog as well that's on our habstonight.net website. So we will be writing blogs now. I'm sure JD will be writing quite a bit of them. I'm not sure if any of us will jump in. We might, but it's a new thing we're trying. So we're going to have written blogs as well on our website. Yep. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget 20% off the habstonight.net store. Get your merch, get your hats, get your shirts. And yeah.
Lots of things. Yeah, to touch back on JD, great article that he wrote about what Habsivity means to not only the Habs Tonight team, but what we're trying to share with the fan base. So if you guys want to take a look, like Brando said, habstonight.net, we have a blog there. JD's going to be writing about maybe an article a week here. So we'll see how it's going to go. And again, in the long run, we're going to try to get maybe some fan stories in, just get the community involved and get some fun stories out just to have fun with it. Like we're here to share the positivity and just have fun and share the content, right? So also Auto de la Ligue with Shane and myself is going to be live at 7 tonight. So for our French fan base who want to tune in, we're going to be talking about everything that happened around the league and touching on the Montreal Canadiens, of course, at the end of the session. So make sure you tune in live at 7 tonight. As for pre-games and post-games, going to start being a lot more active. We have 3 new co-hosts. We have JD, Marco, and Damon, who are going to be helping us out. I know that Shane and Marco are going to be doing, I believe, a pre-game on Wednesday. Marco is currently in Rome, so it's a little bit of a time change for him, but he's up for it. And we have Adrian, who is also running content for our TikTok. So within a week, we're almost at 1,000 followers. So great job, Adrian. Make sure you follow us on TikTok. He's got some great content coming out. So really happy with that. And do you guys have a Crushing Cans coming up soon?
I think we might have one this week. But okay. Yeah, Crushing Cans, obviously, Derek and I just drink beer, have some fun. Just quickly, before we head off, I just want to give a shout out to Dale is back playing.
Yes.
His knee is better. He's played 2 games so far. For those who don't know, if the NHL doesn't go to the Olympics, Dale might have a shot at Team Canada. So happy to see him back healthy, playing again. Shout out to him. Hope he does well. And if the NHL doesn't go, I hope he crashes the squad. But till then, I'm good.
Yeah. He might be back this week for a show. He's got a long week ahead of traveling, so we're not sure. But if not, we're going to try to get him in at the end of the week or next week. So don't worry, you guys. He's not quit. He's gonna be back at some point. He's just really busy being back. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. Like we said, Autour de la Ligue is live at 7 tonight. Don't forget to log on. And aside from that, we'll be back for pre-games and post-games around during the week. So Brando, thank you so much for hopping on with me, and we'll see you guys soon.